Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video as we're actually going to be taking a look at another video. Well, not the actual video, but screenshots of the video because I don't want to get DMCA takedown for this. A video by Austin Evans where he asserts in his title that the new PS5 is worse than the original PS5. Now, there has been a very slight update to the PS5, and up until now, no one's really done a teardown of it and sort of saw what the differences were. It's nothing like with the silicon and, different CPU or GPU or memory or anything like that. None of the, technical specs and configurations, just some differences internally, and biggest of note was the new screw that holds on the stand. This is something people have been talking about. I honestly never had any issues with the original screw on the PS5 that held the stand on, but I guess other people did, and it seems to be generally accepted now that the screw on the newer versions that they're shipping out now are better. So that's cool, except in Austin's video, he goes really ham on asserting that the new PS5 is worse. He says that it runs hotter, and his testing methodology and his conclusion at the end of the video is extremely flawed and incorrect in every conceivable way. So we're going to break that down here in this video. Did you just finish building a sweet gaming rig only to have this happen to you? Not to worry, because your CD Key has you covered with Windows 10 Pro licenses for under $18. And if you head over there right now, you could save 20% off with my code JPD20 at checkout. You'll receive your key within seconds, and then just click the start button and type activate to find the Windows activation screen, and all you got to do then is paste your code in. For more info as well as that coupon code, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. So as I said, there is a new PS5 out in the market, and doesn't have like a new name. It's not the PS5 Pro or anything like that. Sony has just made some alterations to the construction of the system internally, and also seems like the heatsink and all of that stuff. So Austin wanted to do a comparison because he noted on weighing the systems, and he only did this with the digital version of the system. First, he noted the weight. So there was a pretty significant weight difference between the systems. The new PS5 digital weighed in at 3,541 grams, or 7.8 pounds, and the original was 3,828 grams, or 8.4 pounds. So about 300 gram difference there, which is, like I said, not an insignificant amount. So obviously there's some changes going on internally that's more than just a change to a screw for the stand. So good concept to open this thing up and see what's going on inside. So moving ahead, you could see first he started off by doing some audio testing, and here he ended up determining by taking testing levels at the rear of the system near the exhaust that the new PS5 was actually running quieter at 42.1 decibels compared to the original at 43.5 decibels. So that's a positive there. Again, not like a huge amount, something that you probably wouldn't be able to hear audibly and notice, but at measuring it, it seemed to be something that was repeatable in testing. So the new system that they're shipping appears to be running quieter. So that's a pretty big benefit right there. Then he moves on to doing some thermal testing, and this is where it gets really interesting, using a Seek thermal attached to what appeared to be an iPhone, I believe, to test the thermals of the system. Although he's not testing it at the silicon level, like, most people would. It would actually probably be quite difficult for him to do that without a dev kit, but with his channel size and contacts, I'm sure something like that could have been possible to do if Sony wanted to jump on board for this, or maybe there's some other testing methodologies you could have done. I don't have a degree in thermal dynamics or anything like that, but I think I know a little bit more than Austin Evans, and this is not really the right way to test it because he actually tests the temperature of the air being exhausted out the rear of the system. So on the original PS5, he noted that the exhaust was pushing out at 52 degrees Celsius, and on the new system, it was running hotter. Not a crazy amount hotter, but repeatable, and he said consistently it was running about 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. As you can see here in this screenshot, the new PS5 was running at 55C compared to the 52C of the original system. But again, this is not how you test thermals. He's testing the exhaust of the system, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. Now, once opening up the actual system, the first big thing that he noticed, and we noticed as watching it, is the fan. The fan on the newer system is significantly different to the original PS5 fan. As you can see on the original PS5 fan, the fins don't come all the way to the center, whereas on the new PS5 one, the fans do come all the way to the center. So that's actually, if you ever shop for fans and have ever researched fans in any way, this is a good thing. Having more surface area on the fins is a positive. So having this extra surface area here should be a positive, and it very likely is a positive. And the reason I say that is because in his testing, the way he tested the thermals of these two different systems, the new PS5 was pushing out more heat in the exhaust. Again, he's not measuring at the silicon, but he's asserting that the new system is worse because it's quote-unquote running hotter when it's actually probably not. It's just exhausting more heat, which means the system is doing a better job of expelling heat out the back, which would make you conclude that the silicon is likely actually running cooler. If you ever watched Jay's 2 Cents, I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. He's done countless videos on water cooling his systems and stuff like that. And he talks a lot about, there's a common misconception that, you know, if you can get your PC to run cooler, then your room could be cooler and things like that. But in fact, it's actually the opposite, where if you do a water cooling setup and you've got these big radiators and all that stuff, and it's drawing all the heat away from your hardware, your GPU, your CPU and everything, it's going out into the room. So yes, you can have a cooler PC by doing something like water cooling or having better fans like what appears to be on the newer version of the PS5, but the outcome is that the room that it's in could become hotter because the hardware is actually doing a better job of cooling the internals. So that's really what's going on here. So his whole assertion, the whole conclusion at the end of the video is that the new system is worse because it runs hotter, and it could potentially affect performance, and it could potentially lead to more rapid degradation of the hardware, although 3 to 5 degrees Celsius, if that was the actual case, probably wouldn't make a gigantic impact, but it could potentially. But the way he tested it and the way he reached that conclusion is completely incorrect. That is not how thermals work. More heat coming out of the system means there's less heat inside of the system. That is common sense. A 5th grader should fucking know that. And certainly someone that's running a quote-unquote tech channel like Austin Evans. Hi guys, this is Austin. So the other thing he did was stripping out of the system was the heatsink, which does notably, I would say, looks worse, but again, the system is likely running cooler on the internals. So here you can see this is the old PS5 heatsink, which has a gigantic copper plate going along the back, along the heatsink. And on the right side, that is gone, which they then later determine is what very likely reduced the weight so much on the new system, because on weighing the heatsink, the original PS5 heatsink was 1639 grams, and the new one was 1368 grams. So as I said at the start, we were talking about a 0.6 pounds or around a 300 gram difference in weight between the systems. So it appears that he found where that was, and it does look like it is on the heatsink. And visually looking at it, the heatsink does appear to maybe be not as good as the original, but the fan is better. So I think what really happened here is Sony found out that they could actually get the system maybe running comparable or potentially even better by using a better fan, but save money by using maybe a cheaper or a lighter heatsink that doesn't have as much bare metal on it. So I really feel like that's probably what happened here. And at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's getting shafted. I don't think the original or the new PS5 really is in any way significantly better one way or the other. But my assertion would be that on the newer version of the PS5, I think if someone actually tests at the silicon level, then we might see some improved thermals and not worse thermals, like Austin states in his video very, very falsely, and quite a bold claim, honestly. And as a content creator, I can kind of see how he probably got from A to B to C in making this video, because I have very often gone into wanting to make a certain video where I'll see something in a game and I'll be like, you know what, that looks a little weird. Let me test this. And sometimes I'll sit here for an hour or two and I'll run a bunch of tests. And like recently I was actually doing something with Battlefield with DirectX 11 and DirectX 12 because I had a theory about something that I was seeing with the performance. So I spent a few hours testing and recording and everything like that. And then I sat down and I got it into my video editor and I looked at all the stuff side by side, comparing the real-time data and all of that. and I actually didn't see what I thought I was going to see. So I ended up scrapping the video. I was like, well, the end result is that I found absolutely nothing. So I think what happened here, and again, I'm just a guess here, just a hunch as a content creator who's been down this road before, is I think Austin, went into this wanting to get content out of this, started doing his testing, and, maybe he didn't get the result he wanted, and then just made a video anyway, which I think is worse, because then that would show that maybe he knew and decided to lie or put out incorrect information. Or what is potentially more likely is that he's just inept and has no fucking clue what he's talking about. And like I said, I do not have a degree in thermal dynamics and engineering. I don't know everything there is to know about cooling, but I do know that when a console or a PC is pushing out more heat, there's less heat inside the system. Common sense, folks. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on Austin's video and talking about this. I don't want anyone to go over there and attack him or give him any shit, but I do think he does owe an explanation. I think he owes an explanation in a video or something, a retraction of the previous video, something along those lines, because unless he can actually show a temperature difference at the silicon level that is going to prove his assertion that he made at the end of the video, his conclusion, then it's just damning to the console, and it's just misinformation out there being spread in the world. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and I will catch you next time for another video. Ciao.